How are people in the Ripple and XRP community doing? World Crypto Finance. Folks, it's the weekend. Day 3 of December. People in the US just lost a game to the Netherlands by a score of 3-1. It was a terrible game, and we should have scored about 10 minutes into it. They didn't get it. They had about 3 or 4 more chances, but they didn't take advantage of them. When the Netherlands attacked, they scored very poorly. The game was terrible to watch. What I mean is that you don't want that US soccer. We don't get enough play. The guys who play with each other play on different club teams. Since they don't know how the other plays, they don't know each other. And what happens is this. You don't want to hear it, but we made it to the next round, which is a big win. And in 4 years, the World Cup will be back in the United States, and I can't wait. I'm saving my money so I can go. I'll be at the games. I know that one of them is going to be a spa in Miami in about an hour and a half. I'm so excited. But that's enough. Listen, in this video we're going to talk about the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston and other big things. Just now, someone said something epic. We'll talk about what you should do during these bearish times and what you should buy. We'll also talk about the famous Ripple bears. SEC update: Brad Garland's house could handle all of the noise they were making. Summary of the final report: it means I can't wait. I still think this will end this year. Which, what? Today is December 3rd. We don't have much more time. We only have about 28 days left in a month because there are only 31 days in December. I think it comes down to when we get to Livecoin and watch it. Let's watch this video. Bitcoin is back above $70,000. It has gone up by 2% in the last 24 hours. The price of Ethereum is $1,276. So, go ahead and get 24-hour chart. 76% of USDT has returned to its dollar pegs in USDC. At 99 cents, our solid pick still stands. The number 4 spot goes to BNB. FXRP is in 7th place with 39 cents, which is up 1.29%. The last day and a half. You know what needs to happen for XRP to go above 41 cents. Then we can have a small party to celebrate. We can be happy that this thing is going up because I think that once it goes over 41 cents, it will go quickly to 50 cents. Listen, I know it's not much, but saying XRP is worth 50 cents right now is a big win for everyone. Let's move on to this. This was put out by WSP Mob. Right now, this is a very true statement. And you should listen up. Long crypto long. The metaverse, long MFTs, long AI, long biotech, and long human integrity. Long strength, long freedom, and long decentralization. I couldn't agree with you more, people. The metaphor's range is broad. The project I'm working on right now is in Metaverse, which is a very secret place. We haven't set it off yet. There's no need to make a big deal out of it. Why? Because we're building. We've teamed up with the CEO creator of Devil, which is a big name company that has already done what we're doing. We've joined forces with Marvel and Capcom. No matter what, they are there, and everything they do is beautiful. This is not your typical metaverse. Listen, there are a lot of people out there. I won't say names because it makes people very angry. Think about the metaverse and the projects you are going to look into. If a metaverse project tells you that you can own land and open your own shop, it's a scam and not a metaverse. This is what we call the internet. I can't say this enough because people call them to say, hey, rip. I just bought some land over here, blah, blah, blah name, and I'm like, okay, that's great. How do you plan to use it? So, I know I can open a store. So what? What good does that do you people? Just give this some thought. You can go to GoDaddy. When you go to HostGator, you get one-on-one help. You can open a shop whenever you want to. Stop falling for these names. You don't need a metaverse for that. Remember what Brad Garlinghouse told you years ago? And I remember when I first started learning about cryptography, it was like this. Well, there was a business on Long Island that didn't make Long Island iced teas. They were told, you need to make a Long Island iced tea blockchain coin. Excuse me? It was just a passing trend. Use me. Why would you want a coin? So that you guys can make Long Island iced teas. It's exactly the same. What do you need? People are trying to get you to buy their stuff in the metaverse so you can open a store. This is a metaphor for if you were just going to open a store on the internet. People, it's not the metaverse. Sorry, have it brought to you. Come talk to me if you want to find out more about a real metaverse. I'm going to show you a great verse. People have jobs. People are actually doing things, like trying to get around an island without a car. What are you going to do? We call that a captain license. You're going to call an Uber. Whoever has a captain lights that can take you around the island. You don't want to be taken somewhere else. Instead, you want to walk. It will take you a long time to walk across my island, where the 5,000 plan is set up. Island, good luck. You need to get to Vegas Island, which is the next island over. Yes, MakeMyLargest.com. The #1 online booking site for Las Vegas in the world, with millions of views per month, and I went there twice to find out how to get there. He needs someone to bring him to all these other NFTs or metaverse shops. What are they? They are closed, walled gardens, like how Joe Concept told you how and why you can start to change into something like that. Pay attention, people. People are using the word metaverse as a keyword to try to get you to buy their crypto. If you tell me this, I usually back you up 100%. But this is the truth. Wrong now that crypto.com hasn't been able to pay UFC fighters for more than 3 months because of cash flow problems, he goes to explain. So fighters' bonuses have nothing to do with that. This is not true at all. A close friend of mine knows a UFC fighter who just got paid off by Crypto.com in Bitcoin like he was supposed to. This is based on false information and has no proof. Be careful, I'm telling you. Don't believe everything you hear. Since FTX, people have been trying to get rid of each other, and they pay people to spread FUD on other exchanges in order to get rid of each other. But it's not the safest thing to do. Take your digital currency off the exchange. Get a ledger and put it in the channel's description. If you don't want to use my link, you can get a ledger. Don't do that. It doesn't matter me, folks. I'm just trying to keep you safe. Put to sell Michael Brands. 9 U.S. lawmakers are worried about the digital currency project being led by the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston, which is part of the U.S. Central Bank. The lawmakers said, and I quote, that any digital currency used by the U.S. Central Bank must be both open and private. No, not exactly that. Do you do similar things? But this is a beautiful look back. The Federal Reserve Bank of Boston says that MIT will work with them to study digital money. The goal of the project is to learn about the pros and cons of different technologies that could be used in CBDCs. We haven't run out of ideas for a new way for people to pay us faster. Who's talked about? What's the best thing about the finger-pointing bill? Does that move? What does a Ripple add? Let's look at the Stellar and Donato around Bitcoin. Ripple was added, though. Interesting. Let's keep going with this. No. Brad Garlinghouse tweeted this in response to James King's filing. Brad said, I said on day one when Ripple filed its redacted reply to the SEC's opposition to Ripple's motion for summary judgment. We will fight hard to get clear rules for the industry as a whole in the US. Congratulations to all of Team Ripple for getting us here. Ripple said it was strong and held up against the SEC onslaught. I'm looking forward to making history for the better. Is Brad trying to tell you something, folks? He's looking forward to making history for the better. No one else is excited to be a part of the Senate's history. I'm sure that everyone watching this video and listening to my voice is excited to be on the right side of history. Either stood out or joined in. Rebels reply brief. It's out in the open, so you can see it here. When we asked the court to rule in our favor, he said this as his last point. After 2 long years, Ripple is proud of the fence we built for the crypto industry as a whole. We've always told the courts the truth, but we can't say the same thing about our advisory. Yes, Rip played it street, who did play street FTX and FTX thing. They say, hey, don't worry, everything's fine. We'll give all US investors their money back, but we don't care about the other $8.5 billion that's owed to people outside of the US because we're only worried about what the US is going to do to us and the SEC. Don't forget that Jake Garrick is famous. Sir, this is why I made it public. Stephanie Stars is on page 32 of the first senator's redaction, where she talks about the SEC's emails, insurance, and word choices. The SEC has nothing to prove, though. That's the idea that Ripple or XRP investors' luck is tied to each other. Well, the SEC, I'm glad you don't have anything to prove. Because you have a lot to prove at the end of the day. You're going to show that you're a big scammer and that you've been doing it for a long time. And now you think you're helping investors by attacking people like Kim Kardashian, who will never fight back. Find her $1 million. She made about $8 million from a deal she made with him and sold as a legal security. So she keeps 7 and pays you once, which is a great deal for you. For her, it's a great deal. Both of you win. She doesn't fight and go to court with you. What's that? You hurt the wrong business. You are upsetting the wrong group. You are not only being attacked by the XRP family, but you also have a Ripple with top-notch lawyers in this space who have attacked you over and over again and never stopped. I can't wait for his lawsuit to be over because then we'll all get what we deserve. Clean their hands, be nice, and treat each other well. Van Winkle is out.